Okay. Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? I hope that you guys can hear us just fine. Looks like we are good to go. All right, so coffee first was first in the house, so congratulations on that. Macabus,
Eager beavering.
yeah, very eager beavering. Macadus, everyday. Am I saying that right? Macabus, everyday survival. Sorry, words are not my strong suit sometimes, but good to see you. Hey Ed, good to see you. I'm glad you guys could make it today. Thanks for the 5x5 coffee. Today we are going to wind up. We got a new deck of cards. The conflicted cards. We have not really looked at them. I glanced at a couple, but we're going to do these. Their scenarios, and we're just gonna have some fun with it. Gotta make some dinner. I'll be back in about 10. Oh, you can't do that.
It only takes you 10 minutes to cook, make dinner.
Mac is easier. Okay, all right. That sounds good. I like just calling people by their nicknames or something. It's much easier. Hey, Michigan Outpost, good to see you. So yeah, let me just kind of show you what we got. Conflicted. It is the New World Series 3 edition. So we'll see how good these are. Again, I put a little disclaimer up for this. These are just scenarios. These are our opinions. This isn't necessarily what's going to happen or what anything. We're just going to have some fun. Hey, Bama Jen, thanks for coming in. Hey, Lord Eagle. Dusty Country Road, Dynamite, the Country Humans Network.
Dynamite.
Hey, James, thank you for coming here. First time here. It's awesome. Simply Tony, Savage Lee, Okie Khan. Oh, we're getting a full house now. Also, something I wanted to let you guys know. We haven't done a giveaway in a little while. So I think we're going to have a smaller giveaway. Hey, Triple T. Good to see you. I think we're going to have a small giveaway when we reach 600, which we are very close to. So it might be next week or something that we do that. So if you guys are new and you haven't subscribed, we would really love that. Hey, James Trump, good to see you. You've been trying to get the first for half a year. Yeah. So thank you so much, you guys. Oh, Dynamite wants to know when you're gonna grow a backwoods beard.
Whenever Kelly asks me to.
If you want to, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with it. So whatever you want to do.
I've always kept it short, but I might consider it.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I mean, there might be a time where you just kind of have to let everything go and grow out anyway, because you're not going to be worried about, grooming and stuff like that. I think it'll be far down on the priority list and stuff. So, a lot of things are going on, a lot of things this year. Just need to wait and see what happens. But remember, you guys, God is still in control. And that's all I'm going to say, is that he's in control, and what's going to happen is according to him, and his will be done. So,
Dynamite, how long is your beard? I think it was kind of long.
Pretty, yeah. That was a couple years ago, but yeah. Okay, so you guys, we are going to do these, and we're just gonna have some fun with these cards. I don't know what's on them or anything. We're just gonna kind of pick one, and hopefully it's a decent one that we can just kind of talk and do these scenarios. We haven't done these in maybe 6 months or longer. I don't know. It's been a little while. Is there anything? Oh,
pop-ups. I mean, I could let my beard grow out because I've let my hair grow out.
Yeah. It would be fine with me. I don't have a problem with that.
Was that hair was I in camera?
Oh, I don't know. Turn back around. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. Yeah, it's grown out. So anything else you want to talk about before this? Anything new that's going on? What we're doing? Before we get into these, let some more people get in here first. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Good to see you. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up or watched, like we were having a lot of problems with losing chickens. Still not 100% sure what predator it is. I think it's a fox, could be a coyote, but I think it's probably a fox. I actually haven't heard the coyotes in a while. We used to hear them quite frequently. I don't think it's a raccoon. It could be, but a lot of people have said that when it's a raccoon, not to get too graphic or anything, but like they usually leave the head behind or something like that. So
it seems like the raccoons and the possum are just going after the deer corn.
Yeah, I do know we have raccoons because we put out deer corn for the deer so we can see them in our backyard. But the raccoons and the possums are eating that, and I don't think that they're bothering them.
I tried to get a raccoon with my compound crossbow, but coming to find out, the scope on it sucks. One thing is too small, so it's not very good for low light.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get a better scope on the compound crossbow so I can take care of that problem.
But we've been working a lot in the chicken coop area and the chicken run, trying to make it more secure and stuff. I think we've done a fairly good job. It's really high. I would say like it's 2 big pallets tall. Is it like 10 feet? 8
yeah, probably
feet?
about 10 feet.
10 feet. So the top's not
10 feet.
Yeah, the top is not covered on it yet. We are working on at least doing part of it and stuff, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. We did lose a rooster a couple days ago,
but it was during the rainstorm and he couldn't get away.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not very sad about that one because that rooster was a piece of work. Let me tell you. Hey, John, Proper Nation, good to see you. He said, "Nice beard, Rambo." But that rooster would chase both of us. He would like come after us and chase us, and he was just absolutely horrible.
Well,
hey, Backwoods.
He came at me and I had a stick and I knocked him so hard. I thought I'd killed him for a second, but then he finally got up and he stayed away from me for a while, but then he started coming back again.
Hey, the Watchman. Good to see you. Simply Tony. I don't remember if I said hi to you. Yeah, and he was good for a little while, and then he started going back at it and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not too upset about that. But we've lost a lot of chickens. We've got 1 rooster left and 4 hens and a turkey. Although we did get a bunch of little babies. So we've got those that aren't outside yet. We're waiting, making sure everything is good before they get put outside. So hopefully we'll be good. These are just egg laying chickens too. They're not our meat birds or anything. We're probably going to experiment with meat birds next month or the month after or something. So these are just our babies. We got to make sure they're taken care of. Hey, Maria N. Hey, Plays a Lot. Good to see you guys. Okay, so you want to get into the scenarios then?
Yeah, the other night, when I had a possum and a raccoon, and with the scope on the, I almost busted out the double stack 1911, but she was asleep, and I figure if I started popping off rounds, she'd wake up and then have a panic attack.
I'd wake up and I'd like roll over and grab my piece that's next to the bed or something, and I would just start flipping out. Yeah, I'd be like, "What is happening? Are we at war?" Or something. So
I mean, if she had been awake and I'm saying, "Okay, I'm gonna go shoot some," be prepared for the noise.
Yeah, but that would have woken me up from a dead sleep, and I would have started freaking out, thinking it was the end of the world.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys. Here, I'm gonna just get a little group of these cards here, and I'm gonna let you pick one out. And we will see. Hopefully it's a good one. Otherwise, we'll do another one. But we'll just do it this way. Does it look good? It's long.
Yeah, Bishop.
Okay, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me read it real quick. Okay, we're not going to say the name or anything like that. I'm just going to act like this is a person. I want you guys to put in the comments. Hey, Captain Coral Pilgrim. I want you guys to put in the comments what you guys think about the situation and stuff too. Okay. Okay, so there's a bishop. He was faced with the toughest situation of his life. Waves of families, men, women, and children were trying to force their way into his supplies. He was a religious man, and saw those starving people for what they really were, mothers and fathers just trying to feed themselves and their children. He thought of the proper way of dealing with this scenario. If you were in the bishop's place, how would you handle this situation? This is actually a really excellent scenario,
Although I don't think
because
there's enough detail to really.
there's not, but basically people are trying to come in. He's a religious person. See, this kind of is bad for those of us that are Christians, because we want to help people. We want to do what we can for others, and it makes it a much more difficult situation because you don't want to turn people away. That's kind of the problem. Yeah, don't sacrifice yourself. Exactly.
Well, if you try to save everyone, you probably end up saving no one.
That's a problem too. And then even when you do save some people or something, say, like, let's just say somebody came over to your house and they needed some food or something. It was like a young mother or a young child or something like that. Because here's the thing, grown adults like men and stuff will put up women and children to go begging from house to house, because it is harder to say no to a child or a young mother or something like that, or even an elderly person. They might use them, like they might be a big group and use their what they would call weak people to go, hey, GMA Nana. So yeah, if they're coming in to get your supplies, they weren't doing what God said in the first place.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Hey, Katrinka. But it just brings me to another situation of, you've got to be careful. It's really hard to trust people if we're in a complete grid down, just a bad situation, a complete SHTF worldwide, like extremely bad. We've been without power and water and stuff. That's why it's also, in my belief, is that better if you have yourself somewhat of a little group or something like that too, because then you guys can decide together what to do. But even if it's just, say, the two of us, we have to be on the same page about what we would do. Because if you give food to someone too that came to your house, like a little kid or something, who's to say that they're not going to keep coming back?
Oh, they definitely will keep coming back.
Exactly. And next time, they might bring 10, 20 people and they all have guns or something. So you just need to be very, very careful.
I'm for the most part,
with it being a bishop and how the church should be of help. Remember Jesus and the fish and of the bread. Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. Now that's a good idea too. I would let them maybe work for food. Can you read it again? Yeah, Stephanie, I'll read it one more time. Okay, so it's a bishop. He was faced with the toughest situation of his life. Waves of families, men, women, and children were trying to force their way into his supplies. So they were, trying to they weren't asking, they were forcefully trying to enter in. He was a religious man and saw those starving people for what they really were, mothers and fathers just trying to feed themselves and their children. So what would you have done in that situation? And again, it's a lot harder, I believe, for Christians than it is for other people. And not even just for Christians. Most of the people that watch this channel and watch some of these other prepping channels are good people, solid people. They want to do what they can to help people. They have a moral compass and stuff. And that's what makes it so difficult. Whoops, did I get yeah, I'll stay with Run for Your Life and leave the supplies God will provide. Yeah, that's a really good thing, especially if he's by himself, which it doesn't say he's with anyone else. So I'm assuming he was by himself. You can't fight off that many people. So if he really is a religious person, that's probably the best thing to do, is just leave the supplies, take off, and get out of there before they, hurt you or do anything like that. And
Yeah.
like you said, and
But
pray that God
the key
will.
phrase is that they were trying to forcibly come
Yeah,
in.
exactly. That was the key phrase. They weren't just nicely asking for some food; they were forcibly trying to take it.
Yeah,
So
grab as much as you can and bug out.
yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if that. Well, with that, whoops. Um, if they're forcing their way in, they lost their Christian values. I'm not sure if the people coming in were Christians. Um, it didn't say that, but he was a bishop, so but they might have been parishioners from the church or something, and apparently they didn't have enough faith in God to believe that he would help them out, so they were taking matters into their own hands, and that's always a bad thing to do too. Hey, J954. Yeah, if his bunker is compromised, I agree. He may have to take what he can and leave or fight them off. Yes, Stephanie. I think. Uh, hey, Aaron. I don't remember if I said hi to you. I think that's the best route, and that's what he should do. Is he should just take what he can real quick and then take off and leave. If he's by himself, how are you gonna fight that off? Do you have a different idea? What would you do?
I don't know. Fight them off.
You would fight them off? It doesn't say how many there are, though.
Right.
So that's kind of that's one of the things about the cards. They're not exactly specific enough and stuff. So sometimes you just kind of have to figure out what's going on. But
yeah, I would say fight them off. While you're fighting them off, start packing up and preparing to bug out.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you eliminated the threat completely, there might be more behind them.
Yeah. Belt Fed will help fight them off.
Yeah.
You would fight Dusty Country Road? I guess you could fight until you couldn't fight anymore. It's kind of the same thing with bunkering in and bugging out. Like, your end goal should be to try to stay at your house for as long as possible. You have all your supplies and everything there. But if it gets absolutely too bad and you just can't keep fighting anymore, there's too many people coming and stuff, you have to know when to leave. It's kind of the same situation with this. If they've got weapons and stuff too, you need to be careful, and you want to live to fight another day. That's the end goal, is you want to survive during this. That is the main reason why we prep and we have all these supplies and different things like that. We want to survive, and that's the main priority. So you got to do what you got to do to survive.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My goal is I'm working on making this place easier to defend, and my goal is to get a better truck, a trailer, load up all our preps in the trailer, leaving some food and guns and ammo enough for us to protect ourselves. And then you fight them off till you figure you can't fight them off anymore, and bug out the back with the truck and the trailer.
What if there are a bunch of trees and logs blocking your path and you can't go anymore? What if you have to go on foot? Then you don't have your supplies. What if I mean, it's just, what if there's no gas stations? What if you don't have enough gas saved up for your vehicle to be able to go anywhere? You always have to think about these other things. You might have a wonderful idea, but then play it through your head and be like, oh wait, there are a couple flaws with this possibility. So it's just something you always have to plan for. You need to have a first plan, then your second plan, your third plan. I mean,
well, it's kind of like also I'm going to get into some body armor and a chest rig where I can have multiple mags. And maybe this situation, I would have you and the kids get in the truck, and I will go out and I will draw them away and do a little guerrilla warfare, sniping at them, keep them down, keep them busy while you escape, and then we rendezvous another place.
Yeah, that's hey Quack, good to see you. Well, yeah, that's true too. Should have bugged out way before it got that bad.
True.
Yeah. That's the thing. Everybody's got to make sure your truck is multi-fuel. Yeah, that would help that problem of running out of fuel and stuff.
I'm kind of I have a dream to get a deuce and a half.
Does that take multiple fuel?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then that's a possibility too. But you also don't want to draw attention to yourself, and something like that possibly would.
Uh-huh.
There's, almost every single situation you can think of or way that what you think you would do, you can always find holes in it. Just like your preps and stuff. If you don't go through them often enough, you're going to find out that you've got holes. Like say like during these last storms that we had, the hurricane that came through and stuff. I mean, there millions of people here in Texas without power for a while and stuff. Most of them weren't preppers, but I'm sure there were some in the bunch, and they probably figured out, oh, I didn't have enough of this, or I didn't plan for this, or whatever. So these little tiny SHTFs that are kind of like a personal or on a small scale and stuff, they will help you learn what you could have done better in a situation, or what else you might need that you didn't think that you did.
Yeah.
So pay very close attention. If you even, you might just lose power for a little bit. You might have some storms coming through. I don't know, different parts. Going to have tornadoes, earthquakes, blizzards, whatever you have, wherever you have. When you go through a little mini SHTF, I call it a mini because it's short-lived and stuff, and it's probably a personal one to a local region. You're going to learn a lot of this stuff because everybody's going to make a mistake, and they're going to realize, oh shoot, man, I should have had that or whatever. Learn from it, get whatever you needed, and then, you're better prepared for the next time. These little mini ones will help you get prepared for a really big major one. But no matter what, you can't prepare for every exact thing to happen unless you're a multi-millionaire and you're able to get everything that you need in bunkers and all that kind of stuff. And most of us don't have that kind of money. We're just trying to get by in Joe's America and stuff, and it's just kind of, it sucks sometimes, really, because you just can't ever be quite as prepared as you would like to be.
And it's like in the dream world, whatever, is set up kill box in the front yard with claymores.
Yeah, that's something. You just need to make sure that if you are planning on bugging in for as long as you can, you need to make sure that your house is fortified some ways. Make sure you've got not that many entry points that you can get into. Make sure everything is guarded and stuff like that. That way you could wind up staying there longer. If you have a weak defense at your home front, you might wind up having to bug out a lot quicker than you thought you would, just because you're going to get overrun. You just have to have many plans.
It's like what I'm working on is the pallet fence for the corral for the horses. Behind the pallet fence.
Hey, Sherry, you're not that late. It's okay.
Behind the pallet fence, I've already started putting logs, the whole to be behind. And then eventually I'm going to put sandbags behind that.
Yeah, that way you can use it also as a shooting point and to watch people. And you want to take out as many people from as far away as possible. You don't want them to get up too close to you. So that needs to be the main thing, because once they start getting up too close to you, it's easy to get overrun. So you need to make sure you've got good lookout points.
Well, it's like if you've got enough land, mark off your kill zone. I mean, like what range, clear some of the underbrush, where and have places marked where you know exactly the distance to help you zero in the target.
If the fence is metal, stick a battery on it. Never thought about that. Early chaos, they would run right into your bullets. Yeah. All right. You want to go ahead and do another one? That one was actually a pretty good one, and it kind of gets you thinking. Hey, Zombie Force, good to see you. Glad you can make it. These scenarios, that's what they are. They're scenarios. This is for fun. It's to get you thinking. Your ultimate goal is you're going to have to think quick sometimes in situations. You need to know what to do. So if you get your mind working ahead of time, it'll be easier for you to make those hard decisions at that time. And what are you laughing?
I'm thinking about your dream last night.
Oh, all right, you guys. Here, this is a great idea for a novel or for a TV series or a movie or something. I had a dream last night. It was very, very strange, but in it, they were hybrids of zombies and vampires, and they didn't look like zombies though. They look like you know how Hollywood kind of portrays like vampires in this like kind of good looking sexy kind of persona and stuff like that. Like what was that TV show? I don't even remember. I didn't watch it, but you know they kind of portray them like that and stuff. And yeah, I had a dream like that, and it was so strange and weird. But hey, there we go. We have a hybrid of a zombie and a vampire.
Yep.
Are you picking through them?
No, of course not.
Pick one out. You want to do that one?
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. North America, Europe, and the Far East have all suffered a devastating super EMP attack, which caused catastrophic electronic damage to the nation's power grid and essential infrastructures. Everything from cell phones to cars to computers ceased to function, putting society at a standstill. With civilization in chaos, you must fight for the limited and fast dwindling resources. If you and your friends had to face the situations, how would you have done it? Well, my thought is hopefully you're all prepared now and don't have to worry about it. Because the last thing you want to do if there was an EMP or a situation like this is to have to go out to the store or something, because it's going to be complete chaos. Like everybody's going to be just out there grabbing stuff for themselves. Do you think smash and grabs are bad now? If something like that catastrophic happened to the whole United States, oh my gosh, it would send us in such chaos. Hey, it's UCV Farmer. Good to see you.
Which this kind of goes back on the other one, the previous one, is when
I would ask all of you to be good Samaritans in these hard times that are coming. Yes.
When the world's going down like that, appear to be as desperate and as weak as everybody else. Don't let your properties
jumping on our mini bikes and we're riding.
I mean, like you know, if you had people trying to get food in the grocery stores or in town, and there's a little bit, and maybe FEMA's doing a little bit, probably not. Appear to be as hungry and as dirty and as desperate as everybody else.
Yep. Make sure if they've got food lines or something like that, especially if you live in a small town, but even bigger cities, they're going to notice that you're not going to them. You think he is sending us to war? I'm guessing you're talking about Biden.
Has he already talked?
Is that what he already said? I don't know what's going on. I'm wondering if they're going to let Ukraine in, even though they can't, but I don't know if they're at war, but I don't know if somehow he's going to be in there. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Like I said, I saw the day that
Heck, I look homeless now. Well, that's the way to be. I mean, you just don't want to look like, maybe watch what you're eating too. Like, you might be stacked to the rafters or whatever, but you need to cut back your intake at that time too, because you need to look like you're losing weight like everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? You can't be running around like all got all this energy and, you know, and gaining weight and stuff, and everybody else is losing it and looking thin. They're gonna know that you've got stuff.
Buy some oversized clothes. That way,
that's a good idea. Keep a 30-year-old school bus for a bug out vehicle.
Yeah. Except I want to have all-wheel drive.
Well, you could probably turn it into that, couldn't you? Or would it be difficult? I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like a deuce and a half is 6-wheel drive.
Our group is running to the woods. Got a nice little spot on the river in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully we got everything covered and able to disappear for about 4 months comfortably. That's really good that you've got this all planned out and what's going on. I don't know if it's your property, if it's public property, or if it's someone else's property. You need to be careful, because if it's not your property, there might be somebody over there that got a gun or something like that and is like shooing people off. So
I like the idea of a river. I'm not as keen on lakes, because lakes are going to be like magnets for people.
You are right about that. Cortisol, stress hormone, causes weight gains. Yeah, that is true. And you would be stressed in that situation. That's definitely true. You need to blend in, keep your clothes dirty if everyone else's is. Exactly. Yeah, you need to just look as gray man as everybody else. You know, if they're all letting themselves go, they got beards growing out and hair and everything. You're gonna have to just let yours grow out and stuff.
Maybe I better let my beard grow.
It wouldn't be a bad idea just to start doing that so that you're already ready for it. You know, that's just the way it is. You don't want people to think that. Okay, let me tell you a little story. People are watching, whether you believe it or not. We had, although this is a small town, but I'm sure she still has a lot of packages and stuff she delivers. But I had ordered something from Amazon a couple months ago. It was a Presto like canner type thing, only it was like one of those it was an Instapot canner thing. And then I ordered what did I just get the other day? Oh, it was the heat thing for the chickens. Okay. I just got a heat thing for the chickens. Well, she came and she gave it to me and she asked me how my Instapot was. And I'm like, whoa. She asked me if I liked it, if I, using it a lot and stuff. And it just floored me. I was like, wow, the mail people, the UPS, FedEx, whatever, they're paying attention to the things that you are getting. So you need to be very careful about that. It's the same way as blending in and stuff, although we're in a very small town, it just kind of surprised me because it had been a couple months since I got that, 2 or 3 months. And she remembered when she brought me the other package. So how are your chickens, by the way? Well, doing better. We lost one rooster lately, but the rest have been okay. We got some new baby chicks, but I am keeping those inside. Let me tell you, if you guys have ever had chickens or anything, baby chicks are such a pain in the butt. They really are. I keep them inside because I don't want to worry about predators. So I don't have like a really good setup or anything, but it works for me and it's cheap. I just use like one of those big 5-gallon, or not 5-gallon, but those like little, those tote things or whatever that you store clothes or whatever in. I just have one of those. I put some pine shavings on the ground, and then I put the heat lamp, which is actually one of those. What is it called? It's really cool because it's got legs on it, and you put it down and stuff. And it's not like one of those hanging lamps that can cause so much damage or burn things down and stuff. And it works, and we're keeping them in there for a while. They're going to be pretty old by the time I take them outside. I just want to make sure everything is safe. Yeah, snakes will get smaller chickens. That's one reason why I want to keep them. Yeah, it's a brooder light, but I think it's got a different name. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's one reason why I just want to keep them inside for a while. Yeah, they are stinky. And these little babies, they move around so much in there that they keep getting the bark, the wood chips or whatever into their water, and I have to keep changing it out and stuff, and it's really annoying, but I just want to keep them safe. So all right, did you find one more?
2 more actually.
2. Okay, well, let's see what time we got. 6:36. Okay, we can do another one. Oh, and I so far I've only seen, well, I actually haven't seen it. He did a snake here, so that
Twice.
worries me. He saw, that was the same one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a rattlesnake or anything, but I do know that they'll eat the eggs. They'll get the eggs and baby chicks and stuff. So
I forget what it's called. It's the front half was black, and the tail was like goldish brown.
there was a racer or something,
runner
or something.
It
Yeah.
was non-venomous.
Yeah, but I do know that that's a bad thing, so I didn't like seeing that. But so far we've been having eggs, so I don't think that they're getting into there, so that's good. Dummy credit cards, cash, and post PO box, but at this point it's too late. If you're a prepper, they know it. Yeah. That's kind of the thing is people are watching. When you go to the grocery store, they're watching. They see what kind of things you buy. I mean, I know I do. I watch other people because then I can know maybe they're like-minded like me and stuff. So that's why I watch them. You want to do this one?
And then that one.
Okay.
The other one, this one's short.
Okay. Okay. All right, here we go for our next one. After a major event cripples the safety and security of a neighborhood, people choose to start a mutual assistance group. The community can choose a security leader from 2 strong candidates. Would you vote for a veteran police officer or a military veteran that has combat experience? Which candidate's job experience would you trust more to survive?
I'm prejudiced. I'd go with a veteran.
The military veteran. Yeah, because veteran police officers, okay, nothing against police or anything like that, but some of them are just cocky, and some of them, they think that they can do whatever they want and the rules don't apply to them. Not all of them, not everyone, but a lot of them. And I would not trust somebody like that. I would trust a military veteran because they've seen more than, and sometimes police officers don't actually see like a lot of action or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think cops are notoriously bad shots, for one.
From what I've heard and what I've seen, yes.
And a soldier is a good soldier knows how to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And the cop, not so much, in my opinion.
Plus, the military veteran probably will be able to work better with a group and stuff, and will be able to get everyone with their jobs and help them get to where they're going. And looks like everybody's saying a veteran.
Yeah, Okie-Con. Sometimes, a lot of the cops were military combat veterans. So you get the best of both worlds there.
Okay, Simply Tony said it the best there. I was kind of trying to get to that a little bit without being quite so, but yeah, exactly. Hey, Rip Curl, good to see you. I only trust myself with security. That's the other issue if you're in a group, it's going to be hard to trust someone else with your life. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You have to really trust that person and really know that person. Let's go to The Walking Dead for a minute, just because I love that
I was
show.
just about to.
They all, even though none of them knew each other before any of this, and probably none of them would have talked to each other before this, the zombies, happened. They came together and they kind of just decided who would be in charge and stuff like that. And, they were pushing for Rick to be in charge, and they all trusted him and everything. But he proved himself time and again, to know what he was doing. And he was a police officer before, he wasn't a military veteran or anything. He was a police officer and did a good job. Like I said, I mean, some of them could do a good job. They could step up like how Rick did and stuff, but it took Rick a little while to really step up and take that role. And there for a while, he was down and defeated and didn't want it.
Yeah. And you had the guy like the governor.
Yeah.
And, remember that one where, Daryl and that, girl that he liked and that military guy that she fell in with?
Yeah.
And he was bad news. So you gotta be able to be very careful who you choose to pick as your leader. Yeah,
and unfortunately, sometimes I guess the best thing to do is to try to figure all that before a collapse happens or something. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you wind up getting thrown into a group that you meet along the way or something. And it takes a lot. For me, it takes me a lot to trust people. I've just always been that way.
I think they might be watching Biden.
Yeah. Just like us Beaverines coming together. Well, I'm gonna have to rewatch that or something. I don't know how to get it and put it on here where we can watch it while we're talking and stuff, but we only got about 15 minutes left anyway, so maybe we'll end it early so you guys can go and see what's going on over there, because I'm kind of interested to see what kind of lies he's gonna tell. So you want to do this last scenario and then we'll just end it early? Okay. It's a joke?
Well,
oh. All right. This is a really simple one. You guys just need to name a city. After the destruction of Washington, D.C., America needed a new capital. What city would be a good replacement for Washington, D.C., and why? Do you guys have any good cities that would replace? Or maybe just, how about a state that could, like an area type of thing that could replace or something like that? What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm torn. First off, I was going to say Texas.
That's not a city, but yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't think of a city in Texas that there's a lot of liberals in. I mean, then I also thought of Richmond, Virginia, because that's where the Confederate States of America's capital was, I think.
Biden's is lies, yeah. Mar-a-Lago, yeah.
Yeah, that might
be. I didn't even think of that one.
Ding, ding, ding! I think we have a winner.
Pilgrim, Kalamazoo, really? Florida, yeah. I think that actually, I didn't even think of Mar-a-Lago. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yep.
I like that idea because at first I was thinking, well, Texas is pretty, but we have our problems like Austin and stuff.
Yeah, definitely not Austin. I would say Dallas, but I've heard there's more liberals now than there used to be.
A lot of big cities in Texas have liberals, unfortunately. Yeah. Houston's like that.
Well, how about Fort Worth? Because I don't think there's, I think most people in Fort Worth are conservative because it's cowboy country.
Yeah, I mean, that might be an idea. I like the Florida one. That was really good. Dynamite says Montgomery. Pilgrim, Missouri is the center of the country. It's safe. Yeah. And yeah, Simply Tony said it needs to be in the center of the country. Yeah, that's kind of true. It needs to be like down south somewhere, probably a little bit more.
How about Fort Worth and have Billy Bob's be the new White House?
Yeah, yeah, that would be pretty good. But yeah, I like that idea because some people had thought like if we got into a civil war or something like that, that Trump would be leading like the other
Uh-huh.
side. So that's why Mar-a-Lago kind of does make sense
Yeah.
for that. I don't know. I mean, I'd say civil war. I don't really think we're there. There's just not enough people that want to stand up. So I don't think that that's a possibility. I think World War III is right around the corner instead.
World War III, Civil War, Revolutionary War.
I mean, all these are possibilities, but I just don't. Same thing with the Revolutionary War. I don't think that we're there yet, unfortunately. Like, not enough people want to stand up. Not enough people will do the right thing. Too many people just sitting down and complaining about stuff. I mean, you're even seeing on like I don't watch TikTok, but sometimes on YouTube there'll be shorts that they had put on TikTok, or I'll watch a short and they'll be talking about what somebody said or something. And even liberals are complaining about a lot of things like food price. I mean, they're understanding that things are just getting out of control. Yeah, all they're doing is doing a short about it and complaining about it, but they're not actually doing something about it. You think Denver is already set up for it? That might be. There's a lot of conspiracy thoughts and theories about Denver. Just far away from Virginia and take all the libs that moved here with it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. Almost all cities are run by communists. So, I mean, it couldn't really be a big city because we'd be in the same boat that we're in. It needs to be like a smaller country town or something like that. That's where the real people are at, the real true Americans, the true,
Well, it's like it would have to be no further west than Texas and no further north than Kentucky or West Virginia. That
somewhere in that region or something is where it would have to be. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I really appreciate you being here. We're going to go ahead and end it just a little bit short today. That way, if anybody wants to listen to what Liar is saying, you can feel free to or whatever. I think there's other live streams after this too. I know a lot of you guys came over from John at Prepper Nation, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
If you guys aren't subscribed yet, if you could please do that. When we hit 600 subscribers, we're going to have a little mini giveaway for you guys because I appreciate it so much. If you could give us a thumbs up, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm thinking about watching Biden because maybe his drugs are wearing off about now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Or you know what? At least it would be for some laughs. If you guys need to laugh in your life or need Comedy Central, well, you just listen to Biden. That's about what he's good for. So
yeah. If I had any bourbon in the house, I might do a drinking game.
Oh man, you would get drunk really quick from that.
I wouldn't have any trouble sleeping tonight because I'd probably pass out.
Yeah, I hope that you're right on that. Thousands of people that are in the military from everywhere, they will refuse orders to kill citizens. So I hope so.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much. So we really appreciate it. And we will see you next week then, or in some other chat or something like that. You guys have a wonderful and blessed night.